I can't think of a better place to be raised than Fayetteville, you know. I went to Leverett, then they built Asbell, then they built Ramay, so I got to go to some new schools. And then the one and only Fayetteville High, which is no longer standing, but it was legendary in itself. But it was great all the way through. There's a homey feeling about Fayetteville, even with 100,000. There's a home feeling, especially to the people of my generation. And you want to come back if you can.
You know, there are very, very few people that have had the sustained passion for Fayetteville schools as Mark Paul. Some have come, some have gone. Some have been stars, some's been flashes, but Mark has been there and always contributed to everything.
There's not enough good things I could say about Mark because he's been steady. He's been right there. He's never been real high, never been real low. He's always been steady, that person you could count on to be there for you when you need it. And for so many, and encouraging, always trying to pump you up, never tearing you down. He's hard to define because Mark wasn't this great athlete that everybody looked up to. He wasn't this person who was in city government that you just looked up to and the leader and all that. But he's a person that you could count on.
In any community, you need people that will step up, people that are known to be kind-hearted, and Mark is at the top of that list. He's solid, a man of substance.
We all did everything, you know. We have a ball game. We had announcers, we had bookkeepers, we had officials for JV games and things like that. And Mark wore all those hats. Chain crew, he wore all those hats. Help us in track events, carrying a stopwatch, whatever we needed, fill in the blank, Mark was there.
Sometimes it was easier coaching the other kids than my kids on the team. You know, they thought since they knew the coach, but it was great. We had a few winning teams, but I had a lot of losing teams. Of course, winning and losing didn't matter in those days. It was all about fun. But to this day, I can't tell you how many times I may be at Walmart or somewhere at the gas pumps and I hear a voice, Mark Paul, Coach Paul. And here comes a guy or a girl hugging me. And I can remember some of them, but the vast majority I can't. And they talk about how fun the youth center was, what it meant to them. That's very gratifying. That's very gratifying. That's a feeling that means something to me.
He may not have been a coach on that level, but he almost touched all those kids' lives growing up to that point. And it's like a proud parent. He's happy to see them succeed. He's so happy to see that kid came from, I know when he came to the youth center, he was this. He just didn't do, but now look at him. He's doing great. He's doing great things. He's out there playing and the sport he loves and probably got introduced to at the youth center.
I see Mark, and when I imagine him, I see him surrounded by kids, period. Whether it's behind a desk selling tickets, whether it's in the youth center, sorting out 100 kids with not enough space and an old building that was about to fall down around their ears, and but making the best for the kids of Fayetteville. I always put them first.
Other than Ronnie Brewer, who was very special, we weren't looking at how talented a kid was. And you know, I'm proud that our whole makeup of youth center was every kid participates in every game. And I'm glad that it was a place that fostered their self-esteem through that. That's the big deal with me, and that's even more important. I realize it more and more now that as the years go by and the longer I've been away from it.
Beyond his work, he had started working as the voice of the Fayetteville Bulldogs.
I started at the youth center in May of '79, and later that fall, Dale Clark, our director, great man, said, hey, I need someone to spot tonight. You want to come do it? I said, well, that'd be fun. And thank goodness my wife didn't mind. And I went, and next thing I know, the next fall, I'm suddenly the PA guy. Mr. Clark kind of eased out. And it was so much fun that it lasted for about the next over 20 years. And we were in that rickety press box on the east side. But it was a great time. We saw some great games, great players, saw great coaches. It was, that's another thing I've been blessed to be a part of. Those days were great.
To his school, true. To his family, he's true. To his community, he's true. To his ideals, he's true. This is the Hall of Greats, and I was at Fayetteville for a long time, and I was around a whole large percentage of all the people that have been inducted into the Hall of Greats. And I first thought, how does Mark fit in that? And after looking at it, like a glove, he's one of the greatest. You can't imagine what uniform he was wearing, or you can't think of a single one thing that he did. But he was Mr. Bulldog. He was the guy. And without a doubt, if I had a vote, he would have had it a long time ago.